Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. Our guest today is Anar Karimov. He's Azerbaijan's acting culture minister and he joins us from Baku. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Max.
Mr. Karimov, under a ceasefire agreement signed on November 9th between Azerbaijan and Armenia, Azerbaijan is re-established control over the Nagorno Karabakh region and 7 adjoining districts. This ceasefire agreement was negotiated by Russia, and your president, Ilham Aliyev, assured Russia's President Vladimir Putin that Christian monasteries, churches, and religious sites would be protected in those regions. Can you guarantee that this will indeed be the case?
Of course, we say that many times, and on the highest level, our president mentioned that and publicly declared, and our cultural minister also several times declared that Azerbaijani side will preserve, restore, and put into operation all cultural sites, including religious sites, in Nagorno Karabakh, for irrespective of its origin and the religious affiliation. So all communities living in Nagorno Karabakh will be free and eligible to visit these sites and to pray and to worship. So this is goes in line with our policy, and I would like to make it clear that this is our policy. I mean, we will do that not by the demand of the international organizations or in the countries, but this is our priority and the policy. And this is perfectly in line with Azerbaijan's the traditions of multiculturalism and the peaceful coexistence between the nations and the ethnicities and the religious confessions. So the religious heritage, Christian religious heritage, is perfectly preserved, restored, and functional throughout the whole territory of Azerbaijan. And the Armenian church in the center of Baku is available and open for the visitors. So there is nothing that can be afraid that Azerbaijan will destroy or, I don't know, they close those religious sites.
Mr. Karimov, if I may, obviously this is an opinion not shared in Armenia, but as well as by a number of Western academics, dozens or more, issued an open letter warning of the dangers to Armenian cultural heritage in those areas, and they said that there is a precedent in the Nakhichevan region where between 1997 and 2006 many Christian religious sites were destroyed. And so they say the precedent of Nakhichevan is sending a worrying signal that behind the nice speeches, the reality is quite different.
No, it's absolutely a lie and it's not true. I can tell you and I can testify that this is not true information about Nakhchivan, and we are very sorry that those persons that raising this issue, instead of addressing this to Azerbaijan, are addressing to UNESCO or other organizations. So we believe that they can address to Azerbaijan, and we will respond, and we will invite all of them to come to Azerbaijan and to witness and to observe those religious tolerance and the multiculturalism in the country. And without proper investigation and studying this issue, unfortunately, they fell into this Armenian propaganda and
so
became instrumentalized.
I mean, the destruction in Nakhichevan are lies? Propaganda.
Of course, it's not true, because we preserve, as I said, throughout all Azerbaijan, we have a Christian church in Azerbaijan, and those belongs to the oldest Christian civilization of Caucasian Albania. We have Orthodox Church in center of Baku, synagogues, and all of them are fully operational and available to our communities. Right. And we are preserving, and not only preserving, but we're also restoring them. So why we should destroy our cultural heritage in Nagorno Karabakh, as we believe that this is our own heritage? It is the heritage that left to us from our ancestors. Why we should destroy them in
Well,
our
some are
heritage,
saying
as we
that
believe
because
that
of the role Turkey has played in this war, there are fears that Turkey may push you to do things that maybe you didn't do in the past. Can you reassure Armenia and maybe the Western world that this is not going to be the case?
I don't want to reassure anyone that all facts are in front of you, before you. So we just want to tell you that the international organizations and the international community should not be instrumentalized in the hands of Armenian propaganda. That's what I would like to highlight. And when it comes to the Turkey has its own history of protection and preserving its diverse religious heritage, including the Orthodox Church and Armenian Church. So why we should destroy our heritage, when I said again, it's part of our cultural heritage and religious heritage that we need to preserve. So it's quite illogical for us to destroy them.
Right. There are reports that during the recent fighting, Azerbaijan's forces struck the cathedral in Shushi, causing damage. Was it just in the fog of war, if I may use that expression, or as your enemies are saying that this was done on purpose?
No, of course it's not done by purpose. It's a collateral damage that happened during the hostilities. So we have to take it into account that there were fighting and shooting on each side. And when we speak about the church in Shusha, we have to also speak about the damage caused from Armenian shelling to residential areas of Baku, to Ganja, to Barda and Tartar, where apart from the civilian casualties, we had also infrastructural casualties, including the Orthodox Church in Ganja, including the mosque in Ganja, all other religious cultural sites in different parts.
Are you accusing Armenia of harming religious sites?
Of course we are accusing them, and not only during this last 1 month and more hostilities, but throughout the 30 years of the occupation, we have seen and I'm sure you have seen those disturbing videos, how our mosques in occupied territories transformed into the home animal stables. So these disturbing photos are not only, the violation of international humanitarian law, but it's also insult of millions of Muslim peoples and disrespect to the universal values. So all those photos and videos are available in the internet, and you can see what they did as a cultural genocide to our heritage in the occupied territories. And this is the only one reason to erase all evidences of the centuries presence of Azerbaijanis in these territories.
Right.
So we have to also speak about this. So while the people, international organizations speaks about the Christian heritage, we have to be just and to speak also about the Islamic heritage destroyed in the occupied territories for 30 years.
Right. Is UNESCO a good way of trying to establish the truth in terms of the past, but also best manners, if I may use that expression, to preserve this religious heritage that we're talking about? We know that there have been meetings, that there's a mission that could be underway. Could they be, for you, a fair mediator?
Of course, we believe that the UNESCO could be a fair mediator. With that in mind, actually, we asked for UNESCO to deploy the technical mission for several years before. I used to work in this organization for 10 years, and we kept asking UNESCO to dispatch this technical mission to the occupied territories to verify those disturbing facts of destruction of cultural heritage, religious heritage in those territories. But for that time, of course, due to the unconstructive position of Armenia, this mission could not possible because they control those territories. But now, when we liberated these territories, we would be happy to invite international organizations, including UNESCO, to come and to see by their own eyes what left to us from this cultural,
is this
rich
going
cultural
to happen?
and religious heritage.
Are you optimistic?
Sorry?
Are you optimistic that this is going to happen soon, that UNESCO will go there and see for itself?
We do hope that it will be conducted as soon as possible, but it depends on several issues. First of all, it's a security conditions and weather conditions. Well, we have to take into account those elements before we will make this. We will allow this mission to happen. But for sure, for us, it will be important to have this technical mission to the liberated territories to assess the damage done to our religious and cultural heritage, and we will make this public available for the international community, and we hope that Armenia will be held accountable for those crimes that they committed in the occupied territories.
Just a very last question, short one, about France. We've seen tensions between France and Azerbaijan, the French Senate adopting a resolution calling for the recognition of Karabakh. We saw your president react vividly. Is France playing a destructive role?
Unfortunately, we have to acknowledge that the Senate, without again going into the details of this conflict, without studying, without conducting a proper study on the root causes and the situation on the ground, adopting this very highly politicized and I would say biased decision about recognition of so-called Nagorno Karabakh Republic. Of course, for us, this decision and the resolution is a just piece of paper, as we declared and as our foreign minister mentioned. So we do not recognize this resolution, and we believe that France, as a co-chair of the Minsk group, should play a fair and just role in this and should stick to its mediator role to be neutral in this process.
But can France still be a mediator, or are you calling for France to stop mediating because you think they're taking sides?
No, we just call upon France to stay in line with its mediation role and to stick to its neutrality. Of course, we understand that France and its foreign ministry denounced this decision and the resolution by the Senate. And we are really thankful to France Foreign Ministry and the government for this position. But we believe that the Senate and other international or the French organization should not follow the suit and stick to the position of the government of France.
Anar Karimov, I want to thank you very much. That's all we have time for. And thank you for watching this edition of The Interview here on France 24.